Switched it like that, okay. All right, say hello, Rudy. And here's my family on FaceTime. They'll be watching my presentation. All right, can you set it up good? All right, hello everyone. Thank you for coming to my persuasive speech on changing drug policy in America. In 2001, Portugal changed their drug policy to decriminalize the possession and use of all drugs. That's right, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, the whole shebang. That's not to say drug possession is a free-for-all in Portugal. Christopher Ingraham of the Washington Post notes in his 2015 report that drug trafficking is still a punishable crime, but drug possession in Portugal now means a small fine and a citation, like that of a traffic violation, and a referral to a treatment program. According to a study by constitutional lawyer and writer Glenn Greenwald, since adopting their new drug policy, Portugal has seen a decrease in overdoses and drug-related deaths, fewer HIV and hepatitis B and C infections, and saved millions of dollars that they were able to put back into the community affected by drug addiction. So, why isn't the United States following the footsteps of other countries given all the positive effects of drug decriminalization? Even though 23 million Americans reportedly struggle with drug abuse, according to the National Institute of Health, and 85% of drug offenders incarcerated are arrested based on non-violent drug crimes, such as possession. It's clear that our drug policy isn't working. By redirecting our focus to public health and decriminalizing drugs in the United States, we can see fewer overdoses and drug-related deaths, decrease illness and addiction, increase rehabilitation and treatment, and help our economy by creating tax revenue and jobs. So, you might be thinking, criminalizing drugs will mean less drug addicts. But does this methodology actually work? In a study conducted by the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, approximately 23 million Americans struggle with drug abuse, and 75% report not receiving any treatment. Additionally, drug overdose deaths have steadily increased every year in the United States, as shown in this graph by the National Institute of Health. Oh, wrong slide. Glenn Greenwald's study of Portugal, however, showed the number of people in treatment leapt from 6,040 in 1999 to 14,877 in 2003. That's an increase of 147% and resulted directly after the new drug policy took place. But how will decriminalizing drugs affect crime and gang activity? First, it's important to note that decriminalizing and legalizing are two different things. That's not to say everyone using or selling drugs gets a get-out-of-jail-free card. But instead of being charged and sentenced to jail or prison for 5 years due to possession or drug use, you could be sentenced to mandatory treatment and issued a fine. The Federal Bureau of Investigation reports that 85% of drug arrests are for drug possession alone. In 2007, the societal cost due to drugs, such as criminal justice costs, was $113 billion, according to a report from the National Drug Intelligence Center. That's over $96 billion spent due to nonviolent drug crime alone. Moreover, by decriminalizing drugs, we can take the power away from gangs who control the black market drug trade by eliminating the demand supply. Additionally, assuming control of drug sales by regulating drugs in the United States, we can provide more jobs and tax revenue based on the sales, just like we do with alcohol. According to the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration, in 2021, the total revenue from alcohol sales totaled over $428 million. That's in the state of California alone. Imagine the resources we could provide the communities affected by drug abuse and addiction with all that extra tax money. Jobs for one, but also treatment facilities, education programs, and other means of public safety. Instead of breaking up families afflicted with drug addiction, we could get them the help and resources they need at a fraction of the cost of imprisonment. According to the Director of Economic and Fiscal Policies at the Center of New York City Affairs, James A. Parrott, and labor market consultant Michelle Mattingly, in 2020, legal cannabis sales in the United States were estimated to be worth $18 billion. That's with a B. The analysis estimates that this year, legal marijuana will yield $566 million in tax revenue, increasing to $2.6 billion by 2027. And that regulating commercial marijuana sales will create about 51,000 new jobs within 4 years. It's the job of our government to put policies in place to secure freedom and liberty to citizens, but also to promote health and safety. It's important as citizens of the United States that we examine the policies and laws we have in place. Are we, the people, benefiting from these policies? Are they keeping us safe and helping us? Or are they actually hurting us? By decriminalizing drugs, we can reduce lifelong drug dependency and abuse, nonviolent drug arrests and gang violence, increase tax revenue and community resources, and provide more jobs. By adopting a drug policy that decriminalizes all drug possession, we can change our focus on drugs to prevention, treatment, and justice for all. Thank you.